Hello Stampers, welcome to another episode of Card Play. There's been a lot of decorative tape out there these days, and I thought, I bet I can make some of my own. So I want to show you how to make this decorative masking tape and how to put together this card. So let's get started. I started out with a piece of natural ivory cardstock. This piece is 5.5 by 11, and I just scored it and folded it in half to create our card base. I'm going to set that aside. We're going to take the En Français background stamp, and I'm just going to turn it upside down for our purposes. We're also going to need our jet black Staz-On ink, and also just a roll of masking tape. Any kind will do, and any thickness will do. This is standard. I think this is 12 millimeters by 55 millimeters is this width, which it looks it's about a half an inch in width. So all we're going to do is, you might want to find the start of where your masking tape is. And it's right there. So I'm just going to set this down here beside the background stamp, and I'm just going to ink up a little bit of the bottom of this stamp. You can do this with any background stamp you want. I just really liked how the lettering looked using this stamp. And once that's inked up, you're just going to take your masking tape, and I like to start at the end. You're going to kind of push down as you roll. And then once you get to that end, you're just going to pick it up and move a little bit further up and roll again. And then one more time I think we can roll before this Staz-On dries, and we're just pressing, pressing, pressing. So what we've done is we've created a decorative piece of masking tape. So I'm going to go ahead and set this aside. And then all we're going to do is take pieces of this tape, and hopefully you can see that, and we're just going to place them on the card wherever you'd like. So we're just going to place that down, and then I just take a small scissor. You can use a hobby blade. It's going to cut that little end of the masking tape. Okay. And then I'm going to lay down a little bit more tape, so we'll lay another small piece down over here and snip that off. And then we'll just lay down one more piece around here. And what I like about this technique is you could achieve a similar look by stamping little pieces of cardstock and then adhering them down. You could probably achieve a similar look with masking, but at least you get the texture this way of the tape, which actually is really nice. As you can see, I can't stop touching it. So let's go ahead and stamp the other remaining items. We're going to use our basic black classic ink pad, and we're going to grab the Eiffel Tower stamp from the Artistic Etching stamp set, and we're going to ink that up. And we're just going to line that up as best we can and give that a nice stamp. And then I want to do a little bit of a ghost image. So I'm going to stamp off once just to get this really light, and then just stamp a second time kind of behind. So it almost looks like we're looking at a 3D Eiffel Tower. I'm also going to use the little decorative stamp from the same stamp set, the Artistic Etching stamp set. We're going to ink that up, and we're going to also want this at half strength. So I'm stamping off, and then we'll go ahead and stamp that one. And then I'm going to take this heart image from the Punch Potpourri Hostess set, and we're going to ink that one up. And once again, going to stamp off so that we can get this also at half strength, and go ahead and stamp that. So the last thing left to do with this card is to stamp a message. On this one I stamped "Follow Your Heart, It Knows the Way." For this one we're going to do a bit of a different message, so I'm going to grab my calendar, alphabet, and number stamp set, and I like to keep it in a little tray so that I can actually see the letters as I'm working with them. and I am, I think, going to put Follow Your Dreams. So we're just going to start with our F and stamp from there. So just ink that up in black. And again, you can put this wherever you want on the card, kind of like it next to the Eiffel Tower, because maybe it's your dream to be able to actually go and visit the Eiffel Tower one day. So that's where I would like to put it. So I'll just keep stamping. And I'm actually going to add a bit more text down here to balance out the card. So I'm going to stamp a little bit more of a sentiment. And we're just about done with our message. And there you have it, a really simple technique that adds a bit of texture, a bit of fun to your cards. You can probably use different colors of ink, of Staz-On ink, if you happen to have them. Black works really nicely. I hope you've enjoyed this technique, and I look forward to seeing you again soon here in the craft room.